Here again with another Lost Season 1 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Lost, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case and you find out that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And folks, I watched Lost before. When the show was actually airing, I started watching it in Season 5 because my roommate was a big fan of the show. And yeah, I was kind of lost because it's Season 5 of this weird, crazy show. And then again, I watched the show in 2014. I watched the show again in 2020. And then now I'm watching the show again. So join me on the journey and let's discuss the show in the comment section. Big fan of Lost. Let me know what your score is in the comment section. But with all that said, this will be Lost Season 1, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called Pilot, Part 2. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start with Jack, Charlie, and Kate walking through the jungle. Jack's trying to get something on the transceiver. We go to a on the plane flashback before the crash, of course, and Charlie is a bit fidgety on the plane, and a flight attendant's like, "Are you okay?" And then she's going to tell somebody else that he's acting suspicious. And then Charlie quickly gets up and goes to find a bathroom, which we saw him do when we were focusing on Jack. And then when Charlie finally finds a bathroom that he can get into, he has some heroin stuffed in his shoe. And then flight attendants are knocking on the door to see if he's okay, as he, like I said, was acting very suspicious. And then we have some major turbulence. Things are falling over. Charlie falls in the bathroom, but he's able to get out and get into a seat, putting his oxygen mask on. And then Shannon, played by Maggie Grace, is sunbathing. Boone wants to give her wants her to give them a hand looking through stuff. Claire asks if that's her boyfriend, and she says brother. And Claire says she hasn't felt her baby move since yesterday. Michael asks Sun if she's seen his boy, and Jen wants Sun to button up her top button of her shirt. Walt's looking for Vincent, the dog that Jack saw in the last episode, the pilot episode of Lost. And then Walt actually finds some handcuffs. And then Michael finds Walt. He says he told him to stay on the beach. He asks about the handcuffs and that Walt just found, and he says he just found them. Saeed and Sawyer are fighting. Michael and Jack break it up, and Kate yells, "Stop! We found the transceiver, but it's not working." Hurley tells Sawyer to treat people with respect since we're all in this together. And Sawyer says, "Shut up, Lardo." The famous Sawyer nicknames that he has. And we hear those in every episode. And then Jack talks to Sawyer. "Whatever you say, Doc." Saeed says the battery is in the transceiver. Saeed says the battery isn't working, but he's going to try to fix the transceiver, but he may be able to fix it. I just really messed that one up. Hurley tells Saeed he's okay and he likes him. Saeed says that he was a military communications officer. Kate was finished taking the swim, and Sun says something to her, and Kate goes to speak to Saeed. She says the transceiver seems to be, or he says the transceiver seems to be working, but they don't have a signal. They need to try to get a signal from higher ground. So Kate asks Jack about the man that has the shrapnel in him, and Jack's thinking about pulling it out. Kate tells Jack about going for a hike to try to get to higher ground for the transceiver to get a signal. And Sun unbuttons her top button when Jin walks away to go speak to Hurley, which these people don't know what they're saying because they're speaking, Japanese, Chinese, whatever it is. But Hurley, of course, like I said, can't understand him. Walt's reading some comic books that he found. Michael tells Walt, "If we get home, I'll get you another dog." Jack tells Hurley he needs his help going through luggage. Charlie does some of his heroin. Boone finds Shannon crying. She talks about a guy on the plane not letting them have their seats in first class. He saved our lives. Boone doesn't have the slightest idea what Shannon's thinking. And Shannon decides she's going with Kate, Sayid, and Charlie. Boone also goes as well as Sawyer. Kate says, "You decided to join us? I'm a complex guy, sweetheart," Sawyer says. Another nickname, sweetheart, Doc, and Lardo. And then Michael asks Jack what he's looking for, and Jack says some sort of blade. He mentions Walt looking for his dog, and Jack mentions that he saw the lab yesterday in the jungle, as a matter of fact. And then Walt goes to talk to John Locke. He's playing a game that looks like checkers, but Locke says it's better than the game checkers. Walt says his mom died a few weeks ago due to being sick, and Locke says he's having a bad month. And then Walt says, "I guess." And then John Locke says, "Backgammon is the oldest game. One is light, one is dark." John Locke asks Walt if he wants to know a secret, but we don't hear what that secret is. Maybe in the next episode. I can't remember all the details about the show. Jin offers Claire some food. Jin doesn't want to feel Claire's baby, but she makes him feel it anyway because the baby started moving again. Sawyer wants Sayid to check the damn radio. Suddenly they hear something move through the jungle heading for them. Everyone runs away except for Sawyer, who pulls out a gun and fires rounds into a bear, killing it. What the hell is a bear doing on this island, let alone a polar bear? Kate notices. Jack's preparing to take out the shrapnel out of the wounded passenger, and Jack needs Hurley to hold him down in case he regains consciousness because he's going to start moving. Jack says, "Don't look," since Hurley doesn't do good around blood. Jack pulls out the shrapnel. Hurley passes out when Jack asks him to hand him something. Sawyer's asked about where he got the gun. He says he got it off one of the bodies. He said it was one of the passengers, a U.S. Marshal. He had a holster on his ankle. And how'd you know it was a U.S. Marshal? Because he has his badge, too. Sayid says, "I know who you are. You're the prisoner." Sawyer says, "Fine. I'm the criminal, and you're the terrorist," to Sayid. "We can all play a part." Kate takes away the gun from Sawyer, and Kate, with Sayid's help, takes the clip and the round out of the gun, gives Sawyer back the gun, and Sayid the clip and the round. And then back on the plane, it's a Kate flashback. The injured person was with Kate. He believes her story, and Kate says she doesn't care what he believes, and Kate is the one that's in handcuffs. Wow, okay, so Kate, out of all people, is the one in handcuffs. Probably didn't see that one coming. Big time turbulence happens, and the suitcase falls and knocks out the marshal. Kate is able to get his keys and uncuff herself, and then she puts her oxygen mask on. And, she may be a prisoner, but she also put the oxygen mask on the passed out U.S. Marshal as well. And then back to current time, Sayid tells Kate you should keep moving. And then the marshal wakes up and asks Jack, "Where is she?" And Jack says, "Who?" And then Sayid checks the radio. "We've got the bar. We're having feedback, though. He says we can't transmit because someone else is already transmitting." And Sayid finds the frequency. Someone speaking French. The message is repeating. She says, "Please help me. Please come get me. I'm alone now. On the island alone. Please someone come. The others are dead. I killed them all." It's a distress call that it's actually been playing over and over for 16 years. As Shannon translated some of it because she was in France at one point, or spoke some French, I guess. And then Charlie says, "Guys, where are we?" And that's what ends this episode of Lost. So, pretty good episode of the show. I'm really liking watching the show again. It's going to be a lot of fun to kind of do a deep dive on this show. Like, take my time talking about the show. So, I'm going to score this episode an 8.6 out of 10. My two standout characters for the males, we have Sayid. For the females, Kate again. Also, honorable mention to Sawyer and Shannon. I could have gave Sawyer the male character of the episode, but Sayid did more. Sawyer did shoot the polar bear, though, so I don't know. He had some good nicknames, Doc, Lardo, and Sweetheart, but I don't know. You pick who you want. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lost and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please Hulk smash that like button. Otherwise, I'll send the smoke monster after you. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Lost. What would you rate the episode, and who would be your male, who would be your female character of the episode, and anything else that you would like to add. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.